Angela and Nick from Imagine Eating, and today we're going to show you how to make soft pretzels.
Yeah, this is not necessarily a Disney-inspired recipe, but it's kind of meant to evoke walking around the Germany Pavilion at Epcot, where you get that soft pretzel and that grapefruit beer, and you just have a great day.
Absolutely.
Alright, so we're going to start by putting some yeast into our stand mixer.
Yeast it up.
Yeah, so soft pretzels are really easy to make at home, and people don't often do it, but hopefully with this recipe you guys will find it to be a very easy process. To that yeast, we're going to add some warm water. And again, all of the ingredients are going to be listed in the description below.
Next, we're adding some sugar because it's Disney.
Right, yes. Yeah, actually, no, sugar does play a part in this recipe. And then we are going to add flour. We're not adding all the flour, we're just adding a little bit of flour at this time to kind of develop out our base for our dough, this kind of poolish that we're going to be making.
We're also going to add some molten butter.
Yes. Yeah, we melt that butter down, we put it into the stand mixer, and we just give that a nice mix till everything comes together. And then what we're going to do is we're going to let this rest for about 15 minutes to let that yeast activate and do its thing. So that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at water, yeast, flour, butter, sugar.
Pretty basic, but sounds good.
15 minutes later, we come back, we see we got some bubblage going on.
Bubblage is the official word for it.
Exactly. And now we're going to add the rest of our flour. So this is going to be the additional 2 cups of flour. And then we're going to slap on our dough hook after we put in our salt. And then we're just going to knead this on a relatively medium speed. I think it's on 4 on our KitchenAid stand mixer for about 3 minutes.
Yeah, so first we start at a stir so as not to make like a puff of white smoke in our kitchen.
Yeah, if you were to turn that onto a 4, you would have a big white cloud all over the place.
Exactly. And then we speed it up. I've sped it up in this video. The mixer isn't actually going super fast at the moment, but it will be.
Yeah, so we're just kind of getting everything incorporated on our stirring speed, and then we're going to increase the speed for kneading.
Yeah, and that's about 3 to 4 minutes of kneading.
And this isn't like a pizza dough where we need to stretch that gluten way out. It's more like just kind of a very supple bread dough that we're making here.
It reminded me of the school bread that we made.
Yeah, kind of. Kind of like a less hydrated version of the school bread.
And that was a really great recipe. If you guys want to check it out, I'll put a link in the corner.
Alright, so after we give that its time in the mixer, I think it was about 3 minutes that we mixed it for, we're going to dump that out onto our surface, our work surface there. Now, one area where this is different than a traditional bread dough is that this doesn't really need to rise at all. You can just drop this right out and cut it and form your pretzels, which is pretty much what we do here.
I liked how easy this recipe was. Like within the hour, we were eating pretzels and beer cheese, and it was pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, the hardest part is yet to come. The hardest part is actually maintaining the pretzel when you drop it in the baking soda bath.
You guys are going to see my failed attempts.
Alright, so we have our dough, just kind of rolling it into a dough ball here, and then we can portion this out into our pretzels. This could make 6 small pretzels, but I actually turned this into 4 rather large pretzels, just to kind of give you that beer garden, Germany Pavilion vibe, to have those kind of larger size pretzels. So I cut this into 4, but you could very easily do 6.
The thing that I love about the pretzels at the Germany Pavilion is that it's halfway through World Showcase, so it's a nice little treat to help you sober up if you're drinking around the world.
I 100% agree, though I will say, the pretzels at the pavilion itself can be hit or miss.
That's true. Whereas these in our recipe are just hit, baby.
Yeah, these hit. These are awesome. Alright, so I'm going to roll this out into a nice long rope of dough. You can add a little bit of flour, but I will say this. The more flour you add, the harder it is to roll out into that rope. So it's good to have the dough a little sticky. And here you see I'm just working it into that long rope shape. I'm going to roll this out to about 30 inches in length. I know that sounds like a lot, and it may look a little bit thin, but you have to realize that when it gets that baking soda bath, it's going to puff up quite a bit. And you'll see that in the finished product.
What's your favorite thing about pretzels?
The things that you eat them with. Beer cheese, mustard, Nutella.
Ooh!
And there you see, now that I've got it out to my desired length, I do the pretzel fold, and then I just move that down to the lower part of my work surface and work on the next one.
Pretzel fold and twist.
Pretzel fold and twist. And then we just roll out the rest of them. I will say there's a little jump rope technique that you can do as well that kind of helps with that, where you kind of spin it like a jump rope. You want to be a little bit delicate with that because you can easily rip the dough, but that will help kind of extend that. It's that Auntie Anne's at the mall pretzel trick that they do.
We could totally work for Auntie Anne's now.
Well, what gets that to work is the amount of gluten development that you get in the kneading. Otherwise, it would just rip apart. So you have a little bit of gluten that's developed there so you can stretch it a little bit.
All right.
All 4 pretzels are done, and they are ready to go into our baking soda bath. This is just water and baking soda. We're going to drop these pretzels in for only about 45 seconds each. 20 seconds on one side, 25 seconds on the other, and then you're just going to take them out. I worked with a pot that was maybe a little too small, so it was a little bit difficult to get them out. It's kind of like pancakes, though. The first one you kind of mess up, but then the rest of them, they get better and better and better.
Yeah, this first one does not look appetizing at all.
So they get in this baking soda bath for about 45 seconds, and then from there, you want to put them onto your baking sheets and have them ready for the final steps before they go into bake.
We've also greased that baking sheet so that they don't stick.
Yeah. Alright, so there's our first 2 that we were able to get out. And now what we're going to do before we put these into the oven, we're going to brush them with a little bit of melted butter. I also patted the top of them dry a little bit, just to help get some of that excess water and baking soda off. But then, after we put the melted butter on, we're going to put a little fleur de sel, or any kind of coarse salt. Table salt will not work here. What does fleur de sel mean in French?
Flowers of the sea. I have no idea, actually.
Gotcha. I thought it was like salt on the floor.
Maybe it's that too.
No.
There's a lot of salt on the kitchen floor right now.
Alright, so there you see the butter going on, and then we're going to put on that salt, that coarse salt, and then these are going to go into the oven at 450 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes. It's hard to give an exact time, depends how hot your oven is. It also depends on the doneness of the pretzels, what color you like them. When they get to a color that you like, pull them out. And there they are, right out of the oven.
Nice, dark, crispy, but airy on the inside.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that cross-section in there. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. If we don't say so ourselves. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more easy-to-follow recipes.
Yeah. Get some beer cheese and a shuffer huffer, and you're good to go.
Shuffer huffer.